stopping you!
Yeah, opposites certainly seem to be attracting in this case. Now, that right there is an interesting setup for a conflict with a ton of hidden lore, right? A battle of good with French fry versus evil with ice cream versus chaos with Bezel over the fate of the world, all with these cute, adorable talking animals trapped in the middle. But it's not the world that these three are fighting over, it's just control over one of the characters, Chicken Nugget.
What are you even here for, anyhow?
I think you and I both know. You're not the only one who's keeping an eye on the strange occurrences surrounding that puppy.
Strange occurrences, you say? Like what? Well, aside from summoning demons or dragons or whatever, we see that Chicken Nugget has some sort of control over his body that the other normal animals don't, and they're all aware of it.
Let me be clear. That's better. Y'all ever wish you could just belong?
You do belong.
You misunderstand. Long.
You can even change things about other people.
Let's trade.
What?
Meow. Now, all of this could just be funny jokes or an art style thing. In shows with similar art direction like Adventure Time or Steven Universe, the characters often have exaggerated features. They can stretch and bend their bodies and limbs in ways that feel inhuman. Their faces can transform into something funny or scary at the drop of a hat. Most of the time, this is just meant to be a fun art decision. There's no deeper meaning other than, it's just a cartoon, bro. But I don't believe that to be the case with Chicken Nugget. I think all of these things are literally happening in universe and that they aren't necessarily supposed to be happening. Why? Well, it's simple. Chicken Nugget, this dumb little pupper with a permanent 1,000-yard stare, is actually literally a god.
He still doesn't know. He's a god.
Makes sense, right? I mean, dog is just God backwards. Anyway, that is why all these strange things keep happening around him. Chicken Nugget's body moving in strange ways, the weird, creepy gnomes everywhere, why a dragon, demon, and the embodiment of time keep following him around trying to sway him to their side. And if you can't see the advantages to all this, Bezel straight up spells it out for us with a VHS-styled explainer video. Classic theorist trope. Love to see it.
Long ago, prophecy etched into the fabric of the universe itself had stated that a demigod would descend to Earth. His destiny? Warp it beyond recognition to his own selfish desire.
And just to dot our I's and cross our T's here, we definitely know that this demigod must be referring to Chicken Nugget. Why? Well, when Bezel says that the demigod's destiny is to warp reality beyond recognition to his own selfish desire, we see the world transform into a land of frogs and cheeseburgers, two of Chicken Nugget's favorite things. I mean, his best friend is literally a cat named Cheeseburger wearing a cheeseburger hat. As for frogs,
Why do you like them so much?
What's not to like about froggies? I mean, just look at him. Just a little gentleman.
what's more, Chicken's power seems to be growing. He no longer seems to be affected when the other powerful characters use their powers on him.
Dumb online arguments. Wish I could give a hoot.
Your wish is my command. What, it didn't work?
I'm getting stronger. I just don't got no time for nonsense no more.
He can read people's thoughts.
You do count. If you're LGBT, you're LGBT.
Oh, thanks. How did you read my thoughts?
He even seems to be starting to break the fourth wall.
Sometimes it feels like I'm just a puppet on a stage, available for whatever shenanigans happen next. What's happening?
If you pause at just the right moment of the short, you'll see a picture of the real-life animators working on the short in the real world, as Chicken stares directly at the camera. That's not even mentioning the smaller, creepier stuff like this.
Run.
It's a surprisingly intense setup for a series about cuddly cartoon animals, and it leaves us with a lot of interesting places where it could lead, with a clear battle between three sides and a doggo goddo that may dictate the entire fate of the universe. On one side, we have Bezel instigating chaos, slowly trying to reveal Chicken Nugget's destiny to him by planting subtle ideas into his head.
Do not despair, for time is an infinite dance.
He's also trying to reveal the nature of this reality to Chicken Nugget, helping him break through that fourth wall.
Cool boy you got here.
Yeah, I guess it is kinda neat. I guess I kinda never really noticed it.
On the other side of the battle, we have French Fly and Ice Cream, who would love to recruit Chicken Nugget, but have accepted that they probably won't be able to. So instead, they're trying to shield Chicken Nugget from the truth, but they're kind of at a total loss for what to do.
You know why Bezel's here, right?
Yeah. I just thought we did everything right. We did do everything right. He's wrong.
That said, they do have themselves a nice little backup plan for when things go south.
So, if Bezel's right and he does destroy the world, what do you want to do next?
He's not going to. It's gonna be fine. It will!
I can find a nice pocket dimension for us. It'll be so nice.
And lastly, in the middle, we have Chicken Nugget, who doesn't seem to be handling all this very well. It's affecting his waking hours.
The thing the clock guy said about empty voids is kinda starting to freak me out. Wait, do I even have a house? Sometimes it feels like I'm just a puppet on a stage, available for whatever shenanigans happen next.
And his sleeping ones. And for now, that's where a lot of the lore of Chicken Nugget stands, but I believe that we can actually take it a step further. I think that we can make a pretty good guess about where this story is going and the themes that it's gonna unpack. First of all, it seems pretty darn clear that Chicken Nugget is gonna learn the true nature of his powers, and soon, and that is gonna cause a lot of chaos. In the last clip from the lore video, we see the character Sody Pop drawing a happy picture of the whole cast having fun, but as it's hung up on the fridge, the music gets ominous as the picture starts to fall, clearly foreshadowing that the fun, carefree shorts from early on in the series are going to be evolving into something more sinister. In this quote, here's the start of a chaotic arc in Chicken Nugget. Chaos, just like what Bezel's trying to sow into this world to awaken Chicken Nugget's full power. But then what's gonna happen as a part of that story? Well, honestly, it's a bit difficult to predict. This is the sort of series where Bezel could reveal Chicken Nugget's destiny only for the doggo to say, cool, and then move on, never mentioning it all again. But that honestly wouldn't be very fun, nor do I think it's the big plan that they have built for this thing. Instead, I think Chicken Nugget is gonna have to grapple with the truth about himself and really struggle with it as a part of his identity. That right there has been one of the biggest themes of Chicken Nugget so far. The theme of acceptance of reality, of accepting who you truly are. And it manifests itself in multiple ways across the series. For example, one way is accepting the idea of mortality, that no matter what you want or what you do, time is always going to continue to march forward. As I showed earlier, Bezel is quick to remind everyone of that fact.
How have you spent it? Your clock's ticking every day.
And it's something that these characters have already started tackling. For example, in one short, Cheeseburger asks French Fry and Ice Cream if they plan on getting married. But French Fry says that they'll need at least another 10,000 years before they're ready for it. And as Ice Cream points out,
You'll be dead before it happens.
in another, after Sody Pop asks Slushy what kind of stuff she wore when she was younger, Slushy is driven into a quarter-life crisis. And in an attempt to recapture that lost time, she re-enters her goth phase.
I have to go back. Oh, yes.
Acceptance of aging, though, is only one facet of this. Another one is accepting your own identity, and that right there is a huge part of the series. This is perfectly embodied by the character Kofi. She is literally a sheep in wolf's clothing. She feels more at home in a different body and is doing her best to make that her reality. More explicitly, she has several moments where she learns to accept herself and that she doesn't need to conform to others' expectations.
People don't really get me sometimes. Maybe I am too weird. Guess I'm just different. That's okay though.
Characters like Slushy encourage others to embrace their interests, no matter how